Guys, I decided I was gonna make a little review of my Crossman TR77 or Crossman Stealth. I have owned this rifle for quite a bit now. I'm gonna do this video and I'm gonna try to make it as short as possible and try to go over some of the things that I've done. So with this rifle, I actually only paid $80 for it off of Walmart.com, and then everything else I've done to it, I've pretty much just got on Craigslist or did myself off of YouTube videos. The AR223 scope that's on here, I got that off of Craigslist with the UTG bipod, and I mounted the bipod myself. So those didn't actually come with the rifle. They actually came. The rifle did come with a scope, but it was a pretty horrible scope. So I went ahead and replaced it, and I also put this one piece scope mount, which definitely seemed to help a lot, especially because the break barrel rifles do have quite a bit of recoil. The other thing about this rifle, it is pretty loud, especially dead of night when you're trying to shoot rats and stuff like that. Another thing I didn't like, besides the noise level, was that this plastic shroud here, after so much shooting, and I've easily got 1,500 rounds through this rifle already, but this shroud here eventually had came off, probably just from the vibrations and stuff like that. But it does come off. It doesn't do anything for noise at all. So I am gonna attach it much better, just so that way it doesn't fall off anymore, but it has fallen off before. The other thing I really liked about the rifle is it is pretty accurate, especially for what you pay for it. $8 is pretty hard to complain about. I mean, in total, I've probably spent about $130 on the setup that I have now. Now, one of the things I really like too was this buttstock here. This piece is detachable, and I really like that because it gives me somewhere to put my things. So I have the Allen keys for the scope mount, and I also have the little cleaning cloth down here for my scope. So it gives me a place to put some tools and stuff like that. Some other people I know have put like extra pellets or stuff like that in there. I'm pretty fine with just carrying them around, to be honest, in my pocket, or just carrying the tin. But when you're out here shooting rats in the backyard and stuff like that, it's not ideal anyway. The other thing I did for this rifle, I did replace a few parts on the trigger. It was something that somebody had mentioned. A lot of people call it the Crossman Trigger Mod. You can definitely find videos on it on YouTube. It makes it quite a bit smoother. The trigger pull isn't as long. I definitely thought it was an improvement for the rifle compared to how it fired before, and especially with these break barrel rifles, there is a lot of recoil, and it does make it pretty hard to group your shots, even at short distances at like 10 yards, because of the recoil on the rifle. It just goes all over the place. So the shorter pull and the smoother pull on the trigger definitely helps. The bipod I did attach myself. I actually had to grind down the stock a little bit because of these ribbed edges right here actually went underneath the barrel, or underneath the stock completely. So I smoothed it out so that way I could put that rail on there and be able to attach that bipod. But that's pretty much it. Sorry there's no shooting or anything like that on this video, but there is plenty of stuff like that on my Instagram, where you see a couple shots, a couple different pictures of the gun. My Instagram is at Z28Poppy. Thanks for watching. Bye.